Welcome back. This is Scott at Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities. Today we're going to look at the 1965 Minnesota Twins trade block game cards. There's 54 cards in the set. The first group is Twins players, and the last group will get into pictures of yearbooks, baseball bats, signed baseballs. So we'll get started here. Start out, they go alphabetical. I have them alphabetical. Bernie Allen, Big Bob Allison. He was a 6'4" big hitter. You can see he's got some 30 home run seasons, 100 RBI seasons. He was a key cog in the 1960s Minnesota Twins. Of course, great catcher, Earl Batty. And starting pitcher, Dave Boswell, in his early years. He did get in a fight with Billy Martin down the road a couple years later. Pretty infamous around the Twin Cities area. Here we have Jerry Fosnow, Jim Mudcat Grant. Nicest guy you're ever going to meet. Biggest smile in the world. Won 2 games in the '65 World Series. The owner, Calvin Griffith, everybody's favorite guy to pick on. Never liked to spend too much money. Here's Jimmy Hall, who had a great early career until he was beaned. Then he kind of wasn't able to hit as well. They think he was a little bit of shy of the ball after being beaned, which I don't blame him. Here we have Harmon Killebrew, one of the all-time great Twins, top 5 player for the Twins. Jim Kaat, Hall of Famer. He went up against Koufax, won the first game and lost the last 2. They both had short day rest, but Koufax came out stronger. Jerry Kindle and Johnny Clipstein. Here we go with Frank Castro, Big Jim Lemon, toward the end of his career. Coach Billy Martin, his playing career was pretty much over, but he'd go on to manage the Twins in the late 60s. Took him to a couple playoffs, and then of course Doc Lenz. Guess what he did with the team? Manager Sam Mealy. Don Mincher, pretty good power hitter for the Twins during his time in Minnesota. Pitcher Mel Nelson. And Hal Narragon. Hall of Famer and all-around Twins favorite, Tony Oliva. Joe Nosek, outfielder. Another great pitcher out of Cuba, Camilo Pascual. Twins had a great Cuban connection back in the 60s. They finished very high in the pennant race almost every year. And here's Jim Perry, Gaylord Perry's brother. Billy Place. Rich Rollins, regular second baseman, third baseman, great infielder. John Sevcik. And coach Johnny Sain, the same Johnny Sain that was part of the Spawn and Sain and Pray for Rain pitching coach for the Twins. Relief pitcher Dick Stigman from Nimrod, Minnesota. Yes, that's Nimrod. Jose Sandy Valdespino from Habana, Cuba. Another great player from Havana. 1965 MVP, Zoilo Versalles, shortstop for the Twins. Had a great season. And reliever Al Worthington. Backup catcher Jerry Zimmerman. There's a card with an aerial view of Metropolitan Stadium. And here we get into the odd cards like the logos for the teams: Kansas City Athletics, Los Angeles Angels, Cleveland Indians, Baltimore Orioles, Washington Senators, second incarnation, and the Boston Red Sox. The Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins, New York Yankees, and Chicago White Sox. And if you thought it couldn't get any different, Twins autographed ball, Twins autographed bat, Twins baseball cap card, and the bobblehead card for the Minnesota Twins. Those are awesome bobbleheads if you ever have a chance to see them in person. The Minnesota Twins pennant card. The 1965 official program scorebook card. The 1965 Minnesota Twins yearbook. It's actually red when you see it in person. And last but not least, the Minnesota Twins warm-up jacket. So thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the tour of the 1965 Minnesota Twins trade block set.